Welcome back to Slide Tackles Only. I am one of your hosts, John, here in Virginia, joined as always by my good friend Frog. How you doing today, buddy?
Same old, same old. Had to actually work at work today, so good days.
Yeah. And today we have a special guest. Rob C is on with us. Rob, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about your soccer fandom and what teams you follow.
Yeah, so I'm an American Peruvian ethnicity, big Bayern Munich fan, club member as well. Help run a fan club in Baltimore. Um, I follow a lot of women's soccer.
Hmm.
Been to three World Cups, two men, one women.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully, add to that uh, count starting next year and the following year in Brazil.
Hmm.
Um, and so I support Bayern. I love Crystal Palace. And when I say I support Bayern, I support the women's team as well. Um,
Yes.
and for on the MLS side of things, I support the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, now known as the Red Bulls. Cry. And Gotham FC.
Yes.
And I just follow. I follow the NWSL very, very intently. So I got opinions.
Yes, we will definitely be touching on some NWSL. But first off, since this was match day one of the Frauen Bundesliga, let's talk some German women's soccer. Bayern start things off in front of a record-breaking crowd. I think it was 57,500 people were in the stands at the Allianz Arena for Bayern's opening match against Leverkusen. Bayern Leverkusen held on for a while. Bayern got two quick-fire goals and pulled out the 2-0 victory to start their title defense. How you feeling about that game?
For me, the match day one, I love the crowd. That's probably the story here.
Hmm.
57,000 people at the Allianz watching the Frauen Bundesliga. And it just shows, hopefully, the club that they have outgrown the campus,
Hmm.
which is only 5,000 seats. Um, and they need to find better pastures.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's the Grunwald, whether that's potentially their own place, or maybe just more matches at the Allianz, I'm not sure exactly what that is. Um, but that's a story.
Hmm.
And hopefully, we're going to see more of that, especially seeing the numbers that Union is doing for the
Hmm.
women's team. Um, we're starting to see a shift in the teams that were historically very good but couldn't get the support, like the Essence, for example. They're slowly starting to drop down a little
Yeah.
bit, and then you're seeing the Unions come up, take their place, not only provide the crowd but also provide quality in play.
Yeah.
We see Leipzig is here, to the chagrin of all of us here. Uh, um,
Everybody
yeah, everybody.
says the
Um,
Red Bulls
but
fan.
but we're seeing also Dortmund sort of rising up the
Hmm.
ranks.
Yeah.
It won't be too long before they're here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
they're coming.
and those clubs that have historic backings, large backings, even if you get a quarter of that, you're still going to set big records.
Yeah.
Um, and so that to me, it's a great year for the Frauen Bundesliga. I'm excited to see Bayern do more of these numbers.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked. It's and they have star power.
Yeah.
They just have I mean they're the best team in the league, like by far,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And not
Yeah,
only
it's not
does
very close.
it's not close. And you know what? And that's another conversation, right? Like
Hmm.
whether have Bayern done the men's equivalent of they've reloaded, they have all these star players, and no one has attempted to do the same, right?
Hmm.
Um, and like we've seen like Frankfurt just get picked apart this offseason. Um,
Devastated.
did Wolfsburg like?
Yeah.
aging out and also they're losing players. And you're just wondering, you're looking around the league saying, like, who's going to come and challenge, Bayern again? At one point we thought of Leverkusen for a half, and that was it.
Yeah. No,
Leverkusen as a whole is just in shambles right now.
yeah, I still think their women's side can push for third place. We'll see. But speaking of Wolfsburg, they opened their season with a very last second tying goal by Haas Val to draw 3-3. Um,
I've got the stats pulled up right now.
oh
I
boy.
was super excited to talk about it. It's
Tell
not
me,
like
tell me.
anything deep. It's literally just the FOP mob.
Fair.
Oh man, I got distracted like in the second half shortly after the pop goal. I don't remember what it was that pulled me away, but like up till then I was having a great time watching the game.
hmm
Like I said in the first episode, like if the second league had been available to watch every game, I probably would have been a Hamburg fan. Which, like, let's now that I think about it, Hamburg was on the TV every week.
Yeah, they were on a lot. But at 7:30 in the morning most of the time.
That's fine. I was working from home.
Fair.
I was up at 3:30 with a baby every day. I could have done it. But no, as far as the Frauen goes, that was an excellent game to be the game of what was it? The one game they showed that day. I think they showed
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah,
two games
on
over the
Sunday.
week.
Yeah, four games one day every week. Friday was Frankfurt, Saturday was
Yeah,
Bayern, Sunday was the Wolfsburg Hausval, and then today was Jena versus Hoffenheim. It would be nice if they would show every game. I don't know if that's a DAZN choice or if that's a DFB choice. Um,
I don't know
but
because I caught Dortmund Schalke last season on ESPN Plus. It was stadium audio only, but it was fantastic. It was a great game. Schalke lost though, so it really wasn't.
I remember us talking about that in Discord.
mhm.
We were like,
Yeah, I was
no,
watching it with you guys.
nobody complained that it wasn't stadium noise. They were
Yeah,
like, give us more of this. I don't just put the camera there. I don't care. Put those
yeah,
cameras that they sell on Instagram for like youth soccer, and like just give me the feed. I'll
yeah,
watch it.
Yeah,
absolutely. No,
exactly. Like it's something that I did enjoy about Fanatics and their coverage of a lot of South American or Central America. I'm really bad at geography, guys. I'm so sorry. But a lot of the South American leagues would have it would either be in Spanish or stadium audio, and so I would be like, all right, well, I don't speak Spanish, so we're just gonna listen to that. And it's another thing with the K League in Korea. Uh, they broadcast all of their games um, online for free in a lot of countries. In the U.S., they do. Then they have 4 games a week this season are English commentary in the top league. And then they broadcast all of the games. All of the second league games are all stadium audio. And the atmospheres at some of these stadiums are insane.
yeah, and that's the nice thing with stadium audio too. If sometimes commentators can talk too much, or sometimes they're not always your favorites, and it's kind of nice to just experience the atmosphere of the stadium, and it would be very nice because there should be I think there are feeds of all of these games available, and they should be able to show it. But going back to the Wolfsburg Haasfall game, there were a couple interesting things that Thorgood, the commentator who does like basically all the Frauen Bundesliga games here, mentioned, and one of those was that so they were playing at the Volksparkstadion, and apparently they will be playing all of their Frauen games, home games at the Volksparkstadion, which I think is a fantastic
Fantastic.
move. Really shows what Rob was saying about some of these bigger clubs in Germany. You're putting your power into this, let them play at the big stadiums and really show what there is to offer. And it was a great showing from Haasfall, dramatic, draw there, and just a great show for the fans. And Haasfall do have some intense supporters, so I think we could see a lot of good things there. And
Yeah, it looks like the attendance there is just under 12,000 according to FOTMob, which that's great.
yeah, I mean, I know when Frankfurt have done games at the Waldstadion, we've struggled to get 25,000 in, the over 50,000 seat stadium. So 12,000 for a side who's just come back up for the first time in, I think it's over a decade, to the first league. That's pretty impressive.
The vibes in Hamburg have to be incredible right now. You've got St. Pauli and HSV both in the Bundesliga. You've got Hamburg back in the Frauen Bundesliga now. It's the vibes have to be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching this game sort of on FOMO, and like I was like, Wolfsburg, like, okay, yeah, they're up, right? Their stars that come to play.
Hmm.
Like Beristain came to play, who I have very negative feelings about, for running her mouth against the U.S. But then Pop is always like just she's like consistent as gravity, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then the second half was just like a microcosm of the deterioration of Wolfsburg as a dominant Frauen
Hmm.
Bundesliga club.
Yeah.
Like they're, like Pop. They still have Pop. I think Pop played the whole game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she did.
Like who did up there? Berenstein up there. Like, just like the what I see from Wolfsburg is like there's nobody there to rescue this team or turn over this team. Like they're just the stars are aging out,
Hmm.
and there's no one to rescue them. And in this transfer window, they've showed little ambition
Yeah.
to fix that. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, Bayern, who have won everything, right, went to double last year, signed Caruso permanently, got another center back,
Hmm.
Vanessa Gillis, who scored.
Yeah.
Um, and they're just like not relenting. And so now it's like they're at the point like how the men are. We're like we're loading up to win the Champions League, not
Hmm.
to win the league because we got the league sort of very comfortably.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm impressed by Hamburg, but I think a part of me is like this is the Wolfsburg that we know now. Like it's not like the mystique is gone from them.
Hmm.
Um, and and I think this is one of those situations where I think the crowd willed them to win. It was a good crowd, and they're just the whole city's pumped. If you're wearing that badge as a supporter, you're excited, and then now you got some. You're like, well, you took down like one of the top teams of Germany. Like this is incredible for them. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm curious to see how far this takes them. It wouldn't shock me if they give them a table,
Hmm.
if they sniff top four. But yeah, this is great. This is grateful for Hamburg and sad for Wolfsburg.
Yeah. And the other comment that Thurgood made during that match was Wolfsburg is still a selling team. They had before last year won the Pokal, I think it was 10 or 11 years in a row, or maybe it was nine. And then, they had won the league a few times as well. It's been them and Bayern, trading off every once in a while. But they are a selling club still. They lost Eula Brand to Lyon. They lost Sven de daughter to Angel City. That's two of your really good, young, promising attacking players that just haven't been properly replaced at all. And Wolfsburg is definitely going to see a drop off because of that.
And they're free, by the way. Both of them free. No man, no
Yeah,
money, no
yeah,
cash. It's like,
Oh, that's
wow, the
rough.
worst that could happen to
yeah,
lose two young stars for no cash.
yeah,
For absolutely nothing. That's
that,
insane.
yeah.
I do want to bring up a quick topic change. Sticking with Germany, you said that Wolfsburg doesn't really have the depth to rotate their team out. So, as a Bayern fan, how are you feeling about the depth at Bayern after this summer window of theirs?
Oh,
Because I have to tell you, I'm a little disappointed
Oh,
I'm
on the
still,
men's side.
on the
I'm
men's
feeling
side.
I'm feeling pretty good for Bayern. We lost some players that I didn't want to lose. But we got Oberdorf back. Like that's fantastic. We got Barbara Dunst. We got Stanway back after half the season, gone.
Mhm.
Um, so in that regard, and we got Caruso, right, as well. So I'm excited. I just don't know about the coach. I mean, that's kind of been my biggest hiccup. Like Alex Strauss was this like beloved status coach. Like he was, like I remember when Bayern won the World Sevens, like all the players were like, we wanted to play because and show how much Strauss taught us how to play and win and be great. And so this coach is kind of a mystery, right? You're like, so that's about this. I don't know, like the vibes were great with Strauss. I don't know if the vibes are going to be the same with this new coach. I really don't know. I mean, um, so I think the depth is not a problem because I think just everybody else didn't doesn't have the star power to keep up. Like I think Bayern could like lose a couple of players for a little bit of time and they'll be fine because there's just no one in the league to challenge them. I think they're only going to be disappointed in Champions League when if they lose players and their depth can't keep up, um, especially playing the more important games or playing cup matches as well, and they got to rest players, and also players get hurt on international breaks. They're going to suffer there, but I mean, they're going to have to get lucky. But the transfer window wasn't like star-studded, but having Oberdorf back is like almost like a new
Yeah.
player, which is fantastic. Like I'm
Absolutely.
excited to see what she can do. It's a long injury, so
Yeah.
take her a while to settle in. She's not going to be starting for consistently for a while, but even then, that midfield is like there's so many people in that midfield. You got Pernilla
Yeah.
Harder, Georgia Stanway, Zadrazil,
Yeah.
Linda Dowman, now Oberdorf, Barbara Dunst. So it's a loaded midfield. The question is, how do you
Yeah.
play them all?
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you have a midfield of Zadrazil and Stanway, that's a starting midfield on any roster in the entire Frauen Bundesliga and on many teams across Europe. So Bayern is absolutely loaded in that area and basically every area on the women's side. Now, on the men's side with Bayern, how are you feeling with their transfer window and the Club World Cup and how players might be able to perform this year after that?
Man, ooh, the depth is
Which I will
awful.
clarify was what my original question was about the
Oh,
men's team.
No, I think the insight on the Frown was great though. That
No, it
was
was
wonderful.
fantastic. I loved it.
for the men's side, oh man, I remember the days where like, all right. So, do you remember when Renato Sanchez came to Bayern
Hmm.
and like then he had that great his coming out Euros?
Yeah,
What year
I
that was?
remember. Was that
So,
2016?
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
I was going to say this is before
So,
my time, but I
so
Yeah.
guess
Bayern Munich signed him like in June of that year. They're like, he's coming, right?
Hmm.
And then then he had his great and he got it for a deal. And then he had his great tournament, and then Bayern looked like geniuses because they got him for such a cheap deal. So that Bayern's gone because the Bayern of old would have all these pieces in place many months before. And now it's like um it's like they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. It seems like they don't have the same pull and weight anymore.
Hmm.
With a lot of teams, or I'm sorry, not a lot of teams. Well, teams too, but a lot of players where players will say, "Yeah, I want to go." They do their transfer stuff way too late, and then it's just chaotic. Then the problem is that you reek of desperation,
Yeah.
like they smelling on you. Um, and that's what it was. Like the whole thing with Nicholas Jackson and Chelsea, and like I remember at one point too, a few years ago with Dan Levy and Spurs and Kane. Like the Bayern was so gun ho about making his Kane signing that like Dan Levy just started adding conditions to it. Like, oh well, Kane was at the airport trying to get on a plane, and Dan Levy was like, well, we kind of want a game too, where we take the proceeds. Oh, we want 2 games, 2 friendlies. We'll take the money, like and like that. And so then Bayern were just like in a position to like, well, we have to do this because and now they're desperate, right?
Mhm.
And that's what it is now. And so the problem is that like they don't. I think Max Abel is desperate. I think he's in over his head. I think he doesn't have the pull that Uli Hoeneß had back in the day or
Mhm.
Romanega had. Um, he just in like you gotta remember like so he went to like he was at Gladbach, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then he leaves under kind of chaotic circumstances. He goes to Leipzig and he does really nothing at Leipzig.
He lasted what, 6 months there or something, right?
Yeah,
Before
and then
leaving
like
the
before Bayern went to try to poach him, and then
uh-huh.
to the whole big thing. I'm like, so to me, it's like he hasn't earned the right to be in that position. Like at least with like and also he doesn't have a connection to Bayern
Hmm.
either. You could like for example with Brazo, aka Salihamidzic,
Hmm.
and Oliver Kahn, like they were Bayern. They were part of the institution, right? Either by player or by, learning kind of like from the sidelines.
Yeah.
And then they got the top jobs, right? Max Abel did not have that experience. He just like, and I don't know why they hired him. Like what? He did so great at Gladbach because Gladbach were like the bogey team for Bayern for so long. Like that's what you hired him on because nothing on his Leipzig resume makes him hireable for this job, right? And
Yeah.
so now, they just like, no player wants to come here because they can't be convinced of the project here, um, and now we're hoping to last for like till January, February until Musiala's back,
Yeah.
and and then you don't know what condition he's going to be in when he comes back because I think
It's a long injury.
he broke his bone, right?
Yeah.
He's out of football for a while, so like it's a mental thing in the long with a physical. Um,
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get back into the swing of things, and just
exactly.
eventually trusting that he can use that leg the same way.
Yeah, no, that and then like let's just say like something else happens to like let's say Harry Kane and his glass ankles or something happens to him, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's just very unprofessional from the whole front office, and it's been like this since Bravo kind of pushed Hansi Flick out, and they had that battle. So and then Oliver Kahn came in, and then he got sacked because he made a stupid call um, with Nagelsmann, and they paid the price for it. So yeah, it's a weird feeling being a Bayern fan because I think the one of the biggest competitors in Leverkusen got picked apart at the bone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Like that's something to talk about. That's
Yeah. And then Leipzig, we thought maybe they would figure it out, and then they got decimated week one, match
Hmm.
day one, with a no bench Bayern, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, who's up? Who's up for the challenge? Like Bayern might win this league by default because
Yeah.
nobody nobody's saw the blood in the water and wanted to do something about it when it comes to Bayern.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, yeah, go on.
No, yeah, I was gonna say people keep trying to put us in the conversation up there. I'm like, you guys are just hoping, like hoping that someone can challenge Bayern. Yeah, we played well first 2 match days, but it's against a Bremen side that is not uh, have the best squad, and then against a Hoffenheim side that really is mid-table at best. And so, you need to see more from Frankfurt to really say, oh, they can contend with Bayern. Because yeah, I think Bayern still win this league pretty comfortably, and it's basically by default.
Yeah, and like I'm sort of the other way where I'm sort of pushing for like Stuttgart to like do
Mm,
something. Um,
yeah.
look, man. I am hoping,
yeah,
but
no, I want Stuttgart to do well because like I think like last year was tough for them because the year before that they did well, they finished, pretty high up. They got Champions League,
Second,
right?
they edged you guys out for second place like very late in the season.
Yeah, it was in the
Exactly,
last
right?
couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing, right? Those teams that and we saw this with Union like years back, right?
Hmm.
They Champions League, and then the problem is that they they can't keep up with a squad that could do
Yeah.
all three competitions, right? And
Yeah.
then
It's
it takes
Dortmund's fault, let me tell you. Okay. Dortmund came in and said, looked at Seru Guirassy and said, I'm going to take that. And then also took Valdemar Anton.
yeah, yeah.
So they lost. Oh man, what did he hit? Like 25 plus goals a season just from one person, and that's not even counting his propensity to get fouls and penalties.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they do good, and oh boy, the Voltbata sale is looking. It's great for the money, but it is really awful for everything else right now because Undav is hurt. So we've got Dim and M, Dim Shady. Let's go. Let's do it. He dyed his hair blonde for the Pakal final. It was incredible. Dim Shady. Watch out. Dim Shady's revenge is coming for the Bundesliga Fantasy League. Okay.
No, I think that Stuttgart are a side to potentially watch up there just because I think that they underperformed last season pretty heavily. Obviously, they had a really tough Champions League draw and that and didn't get through the top 24 and that hurt. But ended up winning the Pokal, so at least they're in Europe. That keeps players around to a certain extent. And I think that Hunas, the young Hunas, is shown to be a pretty solid coach. So yeah, I think Stuttgart. I don't know if they'll make a title run this year, but I think they'll get back on track at some point and be able to make a run for Champions League. All right, so let's talk about some NWSL now. Rob, Gotham FC. I know not NWSL action, but got the 2-0 win over Alianza in the Champions Cup, and then followed that up with a 3-1 victory over Angel City yesterday. How are you feeling about Gotham right now? They're kind of on the lower edge of the playoff teams right now, but should be able to get in there, right?
Yeah, we're starting to see the team that we thought we were getting um, in the beginning of the year. We've had some changes, obviously, when Lynn Williams and Crystal Dunn left.
Mhm.
That was a big blow. Jenna Nighswanger left as well. Um, so it was a lot of change. And then, but we we started to see some of the players grow on this team. The 2-1 the win the 2-0 win is nice because playing in somebody has to start somewhere when it comes to Champions Cup. Yeah, these teams aren't great,
Mhm.
but you know we had to wait for the Northern Super League to get it up together. With these games need to happen so these teams in Central America get some experience and get some motivation, hopefully invest in their game. So those are nice to have and nice to be a part of that. Um, but the win against Angel City was finally we're starting to see the pieces come together. Even though Roosevelt, for example, didn't start the game, she had a big impact off the bench.
Yeah.
Mitch Person as well had a big impact off the bench. And probably the surprise of the year for the most part has been Jalen Howell's play,
Mm.
who's been, who came into the league with such high regard, could not shake the injury bug, got traded off from racing to Rain, lasted there for a little bit, and then comes in a Lynn Williams deal and has overperformed and by every metric has started almost every game, has played major minutes, has scored goals. She has scored more goals outside the box than Ali Sedner, if you could believe it. Um, by the way, Ali Sedner has one goal, and that's a penalty. Um,
She
so
she is a shoot player from
yeah,
outside that box, though.
yeah, shoot, but Jalen Howell shoots and makes.
Hmm.
So no, I'm excited. I think this team's finally is coming up. We have a brutal West Coast swing. We got Wave, uh, the Vancouver Rise Academy for
Hmm.
Champions Cup, and then Bay. And now I don't think, I think Bay is one of those teams that they can still beat you with some top talent, like Rudy over there, like Richard Kuninaji. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but with Wave, for example, like they started off really good, really hot, like, and then they've been overplaying their numbers, and so they're starting to slowly come to earth a little bit. Um, that definitely happened last week, last this past match day. Uh, and
Happened this match day too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
happened this one recently with the Dash, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, 3-0.
The Dash spanked them. Yeah. So no, no, that's going to be really tough. I think if Gotham kind of come out of the West Coast swing with 4 points, that's really good. 6 points would be fantastic. And the if you look at the table, like after the Spirit, which is I think in second or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. We got 35
Yeah,
points, and then I think it's 32 for third.
Yeah, so like
30 currently.
30.
it's
Okay.
starting
I
to
just
get
pulled the table up while we were talking.
Cool.
to get really congested.
Yeah.
And even you could go as far down as the Courage, who were down and out. Like we thought they were down and out
Yeah.
when Nahas got sacked, with the quickness, right?
Hmm.
And they're still in the hunt. Like
Yeah.
so uh, and then you got teams who are spoiling. You got the Dashers spoiling. You got the Red Stars who are spoiling. Let's talk about their performance this past weekend.
Dude, talk about Ludmilla. What a run she is on. Oh,
Ludmilla is pretty much saying, "Y'all don't need Mal. You stay. You take care of that baby. I got it. I got it. Let's go." Taking the team on her shoulders has become a menace and a force, and is willing to start to victory. Maybe it's a four-coach bounce. I'm not
maybe,
sure.
maybe.
Um,
Yeah,
but
their coaching carousel is something rather interesting.
It has been nuts to follow that. Oh boy.
But speaking of another coach, just announced today or yesterday that Montoya will be leaving Bay FC after this season. So that's I think that's ultimately, big boost for Bay once it happens. You know, Oshawa obviously left because of various reasons. I think a lot kind of begun by him and him not necessarily treating her as the player that she should be treated as. So big news, but I think a good step for them.
yeah, no. So I think it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
He has friends in ownership, which is why we suspect he wasn't sacked. Um, they're letting him leave on his own
Yeah.
with head up high. Um, but this is the move to make because it now tells potential players who may want to come here, like, hey, we're going to have a new coach. Like, you don't have to deal with Albertine, right?
Hmm.
Um, so maybe you know, come over to Bay, come to San Fran or San Jose.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like I have various opinions of Oshuala, and I think half of it is, or a good part of it is Albertine, Montoya's tactics and how he coaches. Um, and I think another part of it is simply that her confidence got shot,
Hmm.
partially because of Albertine, but also because I think some maybe Oshuala is one of those players who just couldn't make it in this league, and that's fine. It happens. Going from Barcelona, where you had free reign over the league and just
Yeah.
were scoring goals up the wazoo, and having
Yeah.
maybe one or two tough games, to now where like every game's a struggle.
Yeah.
Like don't even look at the table as we just saw this past weekend with between the Dash and the Stars. Like,
Yeah.
don't every team could destroy you with ease. And I think she came to. I think she and I had and also I had high hopes because I thought her and Kuninaji were going to form this
Yeah.
tandem where like we're going to drop like double digit goals and double digit assists between each other. Again, it
Right.
just didn't work out that way. So They got something off their books, so they'll have plenty of space in the salary to make moves and give Rudy some help. But yeah, no, I think Bay would. You want someone like Bay to do well, because like we saw they had that great crowd, right?
Hmm.
At the ballpark.
Yep.
And
Against
so
us, yeah.
yeah, so there clearly is a market for them. And hopefully they put some stars around Rudy and rookies like Taylor Huff, for example. They can compete and hope. It also depends on what coach they could bring in. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be the tough part, right?
Yeah, that and who knows who they can attract. I'm sure they'll find someone, good enough. I think that it's still an attractive project. So, um, fuck, now I forget what I was gonna say. But anyway, Frog's back. So one thing to talk about, former Crystal Palace player, now Houston Dash player, Clarissa Larissi, getting her first goal in her first start for the Dash. How about that one?
First goal and assist. It
Yeah,
was
and
a
assist. That's right.
phenomenal game. I was so excited. I haven't seen anything about what happened for her to actually have to come off. I saw her come off. I saw Messiah Bright come back on. Well,
Hmm.
come on. But I haven't seen any news about anything, so I'm taking no news as good news because let me tell you, the Dash are my only hope right now. The Dash are, hold on, I had the table pulled up here because I was really excited to talk about this. I don't know a whole lot about the NWSL. It is absolutely like the newest league I'm getting into. Uh, because of, oh shit, El Salvador just tied it. That's crazy.
Nice.
Sorry, I looked up and just saw them celebrating. Fantastic. But yeah, so it's the newest league I've gotten into, just because I wasn't a big fan of having to jump around to different streaming services to watch it.
Mm.
And then I hadn't found out about NWSL Plus yet, which I still haven't looked into. I probably should. But
Well, it's all free, so
is it really?
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
it's great.
absolutely. It's fantastic to be able to do that.
Oh,
It is annoying that you've got games on there, you've got games on Ion. I think you got games on Paramount
yeah.
and ESPN
Yeah, it's
occasionally.
Paramount. Amazon will show them.
Amazon, yeah,
Like
that's right.
it's on
Yeah.
everything, which is really cool, but also super annoying.
Yeah,
Um,
the NWSL does a good job on like the on the first day of the match day weekend,
Hmm.
kind of detailing you like where all the games are. Um, but the two consistents are Friday night game is always on Prime. Um, and even if there's two Friday night games, only one will be on Prime, and usually the better game of the two. And then
right.
all the Saturday games at night are on Ion,
Hmm.
and that's been the most difficult one for me. I've had to use like Plex, and then the
Yeah.
live TV option to find Ion.
Yeah.
Now all channels have, I mean, now all carriers have Ion, so that's been a kind of a, but they have a halftime show, which is
Mhm.
which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Pluto TV, that was the app I saw. I think that they carry Ion and you can like sign up for that for free. I know I use my parents' cable for it, so that I can watch on Ion, but yeah, so I think there are ways to access it, but it's
Yeah,
definitely a little annoying.
yeah, I've gotten to watch most of the games since the summer break, which is when I started really, really watching it. Was when they came back, and of course, I come back, and now they're on a 6 game unbeaten run, and they're just gonna break my heart here in a minute because
Yeah.
that's Houston culture, baby.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're making a push for the playoffs. I think they're only a few points out right
They're
now and
they're 3 points
3 points
out.
out. Yep.
They're
Yeah.
they're they're at 23
yeah,
points, tied with Angel City.
I think the Dash have a decent shot to make the playoffs. I think the Rain are gonna be the team that's out.
Yeah,
Um,
they are looking not as good right now.
Yeah,
yeah, I think that the Rain's probably the team I had to pull out. And for all I know, it could be Racing, but Racing have been, if you are a numbers folk, their XG has been
Yeah.
fantastic all year.
Yeah.
Like they lost games when they dominated the XG. They're finally winning some of those games.
Hmm.
which is good for them. Um, but yeah, no, I think it will be a good story for them because they haven't made the playoffs in their history yet. So it'd be nice for them. And I think the players are playing well for them. Taylor Flint's amazing.
Yeah.
I think she's up for a contract renewal, and I think she will be paid very well if she stays at racing. Someone will
Yeah.
pay her. I think, but racing should pay her.
They need to pay her because she's an integral part of that side right now. And they, like you said, they're kind of climbing up now, actually getting the wins that they probably should have gotten earlier in the season. So an interesting time for racing, but an even more interesting part, you mentioned, Frog, that Houston is only 3 points behind Angel City. New coach Alexander Strauss there has them playing, pretty decently, and then Alyssa Thompson leaves for Chelsea.
And
Big.
everyone is just trying to crucify Emma Hayes over this.
Yeah,
And
I've seen a bit of that.
I don't really know how much influence Emma Hayes had over this. Yeah, she coached Chelsea. Now she coaches the women's team. I mean, I'm sure there's some influence there, but I don't think it. I think really what it is just Chelsea threw a bunch of money at her and said, "Come play here. We play in the Champions League."
I have that theory. That's my theory is Chelsea threw the money at her, said we will pay you this amount of money, and then because Alexis the I forget how you pronounce the last name, but
Yeah, Serena Williams' husband.
yes, Mr. Reddit, Mr. Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Um, he has stakes and he's a founder of Angel City. He has a small stake in Chelsea, and so for all we know,
Mm.
to placate his Chelsea bosses, probably made it a little bit easier for that transfer to go through because what Chelsea got her for is highway robbery. It's like put the mask on with the revolver and stick up. It and what makes it even more pronounced because for a second you think the market reset it, right? Maybe the prices have gone a little too chaotic, right? No, then Grace Chioro from PSG moves over to London City Lionesses
Yeah.
for 2 million. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like
She's not a $2 million
she's
player.
not Alyssa Thompson.
No.
She, she doesn't have the Alyssa Thompson contract with 2.5 years left in it.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, like I think I'm going to think that Mark Parsons at Angel City was not this stupid, and this was above his head. He was told make the move, get what you can out of it, but they're not going to go over it because Alexis over there has his hand in. He had to serve two masters,
Yeah.
um, which is an argument against multi-club ownership, right?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you to stop talking to say this is why we need to end it. Citigroup, Red Bull. Oh man, who else? Redbird.
Blue
Oh,
Co.
oh,
I
I
mean,
don't know that
fuck.
one.
That's Chelsea Strasburg.
Oh, fuck both of
But
them.
also, speaking of Grace Gioro going to London City, that's Michelle Kang right there. Trying to take away one of PSG's better players so that her Lyon side can win the league again, even though they win every year, and then bringing her in there to London
When
City.
is that Washington Spirit rebrand coming?
Oh God, yeah.
When are we getting the Washington Lionesses?
Lions? Yeah. It's
Like, come on, let's pick some cooler animals, guys.
yeah.
There's so many more animals.
I really hope that the full rebrand doesn't end up happening, but I know it's kind of been in the talks for a little bit here, so we'll see. We'll see, but
I mean, I
yeah,
don't think anyone expected Lyon to rebrand either, but here we are.
yeah. Well, hell no, Kang even has a lot of control over the men's side there too, after the whole John Textor ordeal. So
Mhm.
The Leons.
yeah, but yeah. Also, so obviously we've talked a lot of women's today so far, but international break was here for the men's, and World Cup qualifiers are going on. Rob, I know unfortunately for your Peruvian side, it's not gone the best. Give us a few thoughts on that and the CONMEBOL qualifications here.
This is sort of I alluded to a little bit like how the Wolfsburg women were, where like their stars are aging out
Hmm.
and they have nobody to replace them. That's Peru in a heartbeat. Like they're stars from 2018, the ones who qualify for Russia.
Yeah.
Like they're hanging on by a thread, and there's just nobody to replace them.
Yeah.
Like Paulo Guerrero, like the dude should be in a rocking chair, and like they're still dragging him out, and he won't say no because he loves country too much.
Yeah.
And poor guy, like just leave the man alone. Like, let him be. Like, you stop dragging him out. Like the dude won't say no to a call up, right? Um, and it's sad because
Yeah.
Peru football is glorious to watch. Like when I was in Russia, I had tears in my eye watching them play, because we were there, and I
Hmm.
thought did the 2018 was the beginning. Like we're gonna go back to multiple World Cups. We lost in the intercontinental playoff to Australia, um, in 2022. That sucked because I was gonna go see them again, and then now we're out of it. Even with
Yeah.
these extended fields, like this is a travesty.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this whole thing started with Peru because we didn't want to bring Ricardo Gareca back because he wanted more money. We got cheap, and he left to go coach Chile out of all teams. God damn. Um, and
Sometimes it's just a bad taste in your mouth, man. And
yeah, no,
sometimes you're just
right?
like, I'm gonna go to the neighboring country and I'm gonna ruin your life.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
not done so hot with Chile though either, right?
No, exactly, right?
You know,
That's no,
it's the goal, right? It's not always how it works out, but it's the vibe.
exactly the vibe. And no, it just like once again, my heart breaks for Peru. Um, and yeah, will try again. I don't know, I guess the next one's in multiple countries. Um,
Yeah.
that's gonna be weird.
Yeah, the
But
2030.
Yeah, it's like what Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and a couple
Yeah.
games in Brazil, I believe, in Argentina.
I don't know, but it is. But the
oh,
main hosts
Uruguay too, I think.
are.
Uruguay,
Uruguay.
yeah, yeah, that's what it, yeah.
So yeah, no, it was a sad day, and then you're just looking at the table, and it's all the expected folks: Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Ecuador is interesting because
Yeah.
they've always they've teeter in and out but now because it's expanded field, they should make these tournaments.
Right.
Um, Colombia's there again, fantastic for them. Uh, Paraguay's always interesting. They're going to make one of their. I don't remember them making the World Cups in a while, if ever.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time they've
But
been.
these, I remember this before the expanded field. This was a brutal qualifier in the
Mhm.
simplest form. It was just
Yeah.
brutal, like two games in crazy climates, crazy crowds, and I don't care what team it is, whether it be Peru or Chile, who are the lesser teams here, or Argentina, Brazil. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna
Yeah.
be tough. It's gonna be shithousery. Um, and now with the spinning field, it sort of took out the meaning of it. It's not as
Yeah.
difficult anymore.
Yeah, because you have what, eight sides from South America who are making it,
Six,
right?
six
Six. It's six.
automatic, seven
And
in the
then
playoff.
right in the playoffs. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I believe the last match day for South American qualifiers is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. I think the last spot or two are still up for grabs, but um, talk about other very difficult qualifying, and that's Africa.
Oh boy.
That it is extremely hard for some of those squads to make it out of the qualifiers. You've seen that. I think what Nigeria missed the last one after their World Cup run in 2018. But I think right now Tunisia's qualified and someone else from Africa has qualified. Frog, I don't know if
Yeah,
you had
it's.
that.
I had it up a minute ago. I'll pull it back up. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I don't know, Rob, how much African men's qualifiers you watch or follow, but definitely some interesting sides there that can always provide very fun upsets come World Cup. Oh, I think Morocco is the other one. But yeah.
There's only 24 hours in a day, and I have to work some of it. It's like,
Right.
I know it's so unfortunate.
yeah, it really is, right? I remember. I don't know how it is with the expanded field, but I remember a time where like you can like win your group, and then they had this playoff system, and you
Yeah.
could lose a playoff.
Yeah.
I remember that happened to like Bob Bradley's Egypt. Like they were so good, and then all of a sudden, like they came out to the last two match days, which is like a home and home, I think, and
Yeah.
they just lost, like or something. It's like they did all this work for like nothing, and it's like it's just like I think I think of the powerhouses like Algeria, like always
Yeah. They're
Morocco's a
gonna.
good one, right? Those are like the traditional ones I've seen. Um, but like it seems like the field every year changes. Like I mean,
Yeah.
every qualifier cycle changes. Like who's and because there's so little room for error
Yeah.
in this tournament.
No, it's
Ooh,
extremely
boy.
hard. I mean, Ghana's missed out on the past
Yeah,
couple,
yeah. So they've got 9 groups for
mhm.
their qualifiers. Um, so far, the only
Just went silent.
man, it's awful. My phone slipped on my laptop. Yeah, so there's only 2 countries that are officially qualified right now. That is Tunisia. Oh, Jesus, that was a bad way to say that. And Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco. Yep.
Current group leaders are Egypt, the Congo.
Which
Uh,
Congo?
uh, oh my God,
DRC or
oh man,
PR.
yeah,
I'm so
I would
bad at
assume DRC.
geography.
They
Yeah,
are the one
it's
who are
DRC.
better.
It's DRC. Jeez, I'm so bad at geography. Senegal, however, is only 1 point behind them in their group, so that's wide open.
Yeah.
South Africa's leading their group by 5 points right now. Cape Verde is leading theirs with Cameroon only 1 point behind and Libya only 2 points behind.
Wow.
Morocco dominated their group. They are 7 for 7 right now, 21 points. There is no one else going to beat them. Ivory Coast is up. They're leading in Group F over Gabon. 19 points to 18 points. That's going to be a
Wow.
fun one.
You'd think
Uh,
Ivory Coast would end up pulling that out, but shit happens.
Shit happens. And then we've got Algeria is winning their group 19 to 15 over Uganda right now. Yeah, Tunisia won their group. Yeah, seven wins, 1 draw, 22 points. 10 points above second place, who is Namibia.
Namibia, yeah.
Ghana's winning their group 19 to 16. Madagascar is in second in that one. And so far, the best second place teams that we're looking at that are going to be, I guess that's how they move into the playoff. I'm not 100% sure how that one's going to work. But you've got Gabon, Madagascar, Cameroon, and Senegal are the ones that are in those spots right now. And the ones that look like they can get into it are Uganda, Burkina Faso, and potentially Namibia.
Interesting. Well, Namibia, former German colony. So let's switch focus over to the German national side, who had a rather interesting international break here, losing their first World Cup qualifying game 2-0 to Slovakia, and then were tied at 1 at halftime against Northern Ireland. Ended up pulling that one out 3-1. It's been a little interesting time here for Julian Nagelsmann and the German national team. Sure seems like the Musiala injury is affecting a lot more than just Bayern Munich, isn't it?
Yeah. The Slovakian game was not good.
Yeah.
It was bad, and then for a little bit you saw the same thing against Northern Ireland. And so it, I remember for a while for a little bit when Nagelsmann got hired, we were like, he's a club coach. What's he doing here? He's too young for this job. Then he started doing well, and he's figured it out. But then now, so the Slovakia game happens, and you're like, you almost forget all the good things he did, but based
Right.
on the game. I mean, but look, he's going to have an next cushion too, because you know what? The next game is against Luxembourg,
Right.
right? In October, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're gonna right the ship really quickly, right?
Yeah.
And they have two games against Luxembourg too, by the way.
Mhm.
So they'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I mean, this is a very winnable group.
Yeah, no, their group is not a difficult one for them at all. Slovakia is by far the second best side in the group, and quite frankly, I think Germany should be able to take care of business on the second leg of that. Um, Speaking of more European qualifiers, though, my boy Moise Kean from Fiorentina with another two goals for Italy, as they barely escape their qualifier against Israel 5-4 with a stoppage time winner. That was quite an interesting result. I didn't get to watch the match at all, but I know, Frog, you were following that one a bit, weren't you?
No, unfortunately, I was
Oh,
working.
okay.
I just happened to see it. Uh, I like opened Facebook and it's like, here's the rundown. I was like, oh my god, Sandro Tonali is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a great
Like
player.
he's incredible. I hate that he's on Newcastle. I hate that Voltebot is on Newcastle. There's a lot of players on Newcastle that I like that I hate that are on Newcastle. But I do occasionally check out some Newcastle games to watch Sandro Tonali play. He's phenomenal.
He's a really fun player. Italy is another program that's very interesting from a national side perspective. Obviously, not making the World Cup the past two times, is it,
yeah,
or is it three now? And really is a country that prides itself on being very good at football and being able to make the World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how they do going forward. Forget what their group is at right now. They're in second place right now, I think technically, but uh,
I
with a
got you,
game in
buddy.
hand. Sorry
I've
about
got it
that.
pulled up
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
they're
Oh man,
second.
Germany's
Oh,
in third. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Italy is second to Norway right now. They're 3 points behind Norway. Now, of course, group winners qualify. Second places go into that playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Norway, surprising that they're leading the group because their national team sometimes can't really get their shit together despite having incredible offensive talent there.
yeah. No, so two observations from this group. Number one is Italy does not want the playoff.
Yeah.
They have to win this group. They got to because because all the doubts are going to come back if they make the play if they don't win the group. They're going
Hmm.
to be like, oh, is it going to happen to us again, right?
Yeah.
And then there's only so many times you can fire the manager. I mean, what's going to happen? Like Angelotti's going to come in and save the day again. I mean, who knows? Um,
He's at Brazil right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
he's right.
He's
He's
got
not
that.
available.
He's got that to deal with.
Um, and then on Norway, we know how active they are as far as their activism is. Because I remember they made a stand saying that we qualify for Qatar, they weren't going to play. If they win the group, do they feel the same way?
Right. Yeah. It'll
I'm
be
curious.
interesting to see if yeah, how they react to everything that's going on with the US right now and I mean like even Denmark who made the last World Cup, they made it so that their badge wasn't necessarily recognizable from afar on their jerseys as, a kind of statement against the atrocities from the Qatari government and all of that. So yeah, well, it'll be very, very interesting to see what kind of political statements teams do or probably more likely do not end up putting out, considering the World Cup that will be happening here next summer.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it, and I'm not excited for all the people that are going to be like, sports and politics don't go together. And it's no, sports are inherently political, and especially at the national team level,
Hmm.
like it is an inherent part of it. You can't separate the two.
Yeah. And it's going to be very, very difficult for so many traveling fans. I really feel for everyone who is going to have a country that they are from or represent being here and possibly not being able to come, or if they are, what kind of consequences could they face just by them even being in this country right now. But we are getting pretty low on time right now, so let's wrap things up. Rob, where can people find you? And thank you again so much for coming on this one.
Yeah, you can find me all over the social medias under the handle BN CEO, so like Barnes and Noble Chief Executive Officer. Um, yeah, so Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. You'll find me traveling on a plane somewhere, hopefully. And if you're going to the World Cup next year, you can find me going to one of the matches in Monterrey, Mexico.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. That's going to be a good time.
It's a bucket list of mine. So yeah, and obviously, you can find me on various Discord servers all over the place when it comes to this game. So yeah,
I think I'm in like 5.
I'm in like 10.
Oh boy.
All right, Frog, where can people find you?
You can find me on Discord at Frog the Wizard. You can also find me on Blue Sky at Ban the Frog Wizard.
Yep.
And that's really the important ones, guys.
Yeah, no, Blue Sky has become a great spot for soccer following here. It's been a lot of fun on there. And obviously Discord is always incredible. Shout out 50 plus donor in their Discord. It's a very wonderful place. But that's about all the time we have for today. So thank you guys so much for coming on, and we'll see you next week when Bundesliga returns, and then some more Frauen Bundesliga and NWSL always coming.
I can't wait. It's going to be a great week.
Wait, breaking news.
What?
All right.
What just happened?
The North Carolina Courage have agreed to trade U.S. women's national team playmaker Jaden Shaw to
It's not you all, is it?
Gotham FC for $1.25 million.
Holy
two and a half
firm to ESPN.
Did you say one? Did you say 1 or 2 million?
1.25 million.
Okay, 1.25. Okay, I thought you said 2.5. Still, I mean that's wow.
That doubles the intra-league NWSL record set a month ago.
Jesus Christ!
North Carolina hasn't utilized her properly either. Man, she's such a talented player. So God,
welcome.
That's insane. Oh.
Super Team Reloaded.
No, dude, that puts Gotham back in the conversation to, get to the conference finals, or not conference, semifinals, and possibly get to the championship match at this point. I think she's that level of player.
All right, folks. This is almost over, by the way.
Yeah, we got
another 50 seconds.
But I'm gonna go in all the Discords right now and go crazy on the news.
Hell yeah. Have fun with that.
All right, gonna go tag Betty. Like, look at this shit that's going down. Bye, everybody.